Hello, Top Fan Rivalry supporters and followers, and welcome to another edition of Dodgers Update. We're a day behind. Usually it's a Monday that we do this. We're a day behind. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Scotty was busy. I was busy. Doesn't
Yep.
matter. Scotty, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It was nice little surprise to have Mr. Otani on the bump last night, even if it was for just an inning.
Hey,
Uh,
listen, he had
Got to start
zero rehab
somewhere, right?
starts.
Exactly.
Zero rehab starts.
Well,
So
you can't.
28 pitches.
You can't. I at one point he was 2 for 3 last night. After that too, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't. That's why you can't get a rehab start. You can't afford to have that bat out of the lineup while he.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So let's lay the groundwork before we get into our good friend Shohei, the ultimate of unicorns.
Yeah.
Let's get into the Dodgers last week and a half or so since Scotty and I last talked. I'm just pulling some statistics up here, Scotty.
Okay.
Um, being on the East Coast last week kind of changed the mentality for me a
Yeah,
bit.
for sure. For you, that's always hard.
TFR Gracie's trying to make her appearance in this, but
I
we're
agree.
saying no. Sorry, TFR Gracie. You're going to have to stay behind. This is a Scotty and I show. Okay, so last week, and this is what you and I were talking about. We were talking about this kind of juggernaut that the Dodgers were going to be in this
Yeah.
month with the Mets, the Cards, the Padres, and then the Giants.
Yep.
So we lose two out of three to the Giants. No, I'm sorry, we go 2-2 with the Giants. I'm sorry, the Mets.
Yep.
Then we lose two out of three to the Cards, but we take two out of three from both the Padres and the Giants, and then won the first game on Monday night. Scotty, your thoughts about beating these teams?
Um, was hoping we'd win the series against the Mets 3-1, but splitting was okay. The good thing for the Dodgers during that 4 game stretch was the Giants and Padres weren't really doing much either. So there wasn't. I think during and the 3 game stretch we lost to the Cardinals. Two of those three. That I don't know. That felt wrong. I know that was at St. Louis. We had a close one in game 2, but I don't know. At least we won it going away. Then we beat the Padres twice. That's always good to beat them twice. We beat the Giants twice, even though we lost the series opener against them. And now we're starting this series against the Padres at home with a win last night. So we're gaining a little ground. This was we you and I talked about this. The Mets, the Cardinals, yeah, even the Yankees, but we needed but prior to that, the Yankees. But we needed to beat the division rivals, and we're doing that, and that's good. We're winning those series. We're up one on the Pods, so let's go. Let's win this one 3-1. That'll really push them down, and help fend off the Giants a little bit. So
Yeah,
hopefully this trend continues. Max Muncy continues to be on a tear after realizing he was apparently blind. Um, my my wife last night, I was explaining to her that it's like night and day since he got those glasses, and we laughed like, oh, it's amazing what you can do when you can see. And
yeah,
my Bonnie was like, does he is he just stubborn? And I'm like, no, I think that you think your eyes are better than they are, and you don't realize. I remember, I mean, it's been 30 years since I got my glasses, first pair of glasses, but I remember putting them on and being like, oh, wow, my eyes really did have a little bit of degradation to them. I really wasn't seeing as clearly as I thought. And so that's good to see Max pushing his numbers up, especially his batting average. You can tell he's seeing the pitches way better. I think we're on a good stretch. Like I said, I would have liked to win that series against the Cardinals. For whatever reason, they're one of those teams that always plays the Dodgers tough. I don't know what the if there's any science behind any of that, but anyway, there's my thoughts as I ramble on.
no, you are yeah. I feel like it's Ricky Wild thing, right? pair of
Yeah,
long rims, and now all of a sudden Max can see and he can hit, right?
exactly. But no, I think the Dodgers are in a good spot. Um, Again, it's one of those we say this I think every time we talk, but if you look at the standings and where they're at, that's all you really care about. They're leading their division. What are they up 2 games again now?
I think 2.5, if I'm
Two and a
not
half.
mistaken.
That's let's go win these, and then look, you're going to get a little bit. Sorry, Rockies fans, to state the obvious, be Captain Obvious here, but you Padres, you're going to play a tough Nationals team at home. But then you'll get a day off and then go to Colorado where the ball flies like no tomorrow, especially in the summer,
Yeah.
and one of the worst teams in the history of baseball. So hopefully that's a little rest and respite and get back on track and as we head towards July.
So exactly. And you just mentioned it perfectly. I want to go back to the Padres here for a second, Scotty.
Yes.
If the Dodgers if the Dodgers sweep, which you and I both know, to sweep a series, a 3-game series,
Ooh.
much less a 4-game series, is incredibly difficult to do because baseball is a very mean game. It's a very
Yes.
nasty game. The ball will do funny thing, whatever, right?
Right.
Insert issue here, right?
Hmm.
And so, be it as it may, the ball does things that, anyways, if the Dodgers can sweep the Padres, that would put after the 19th of June, the Padres 7 games out of first place.
Ooh,
Not the end of the world, but
that's a no,
definitely,
but yeah.
yeah, definitely with 6 games left to play with the Dodgers in the season. And it gets a little weird. It's gonna get a little strange. It's gonna get a
Oh,
little awkward. It's gonna a lot of the things. So now the best thing that the Padres can do is split the series, right? So
right.
if they win tonight, they'll go up 3 games, or I mean, go down 3 games. If they lose the next one, they'll go up 4. They lose the next one, they'll go up down 3. I mean, you leave there down 3. Now,
Right. Right.
remember the Dodgers, like you mentioned, then host the Nationals on Friday. And then they go to Colorado and they go to Kansas City. So
Yep.
out of those 6 games, the Dodgers could conceivably take 4 out of 6.
Yeah. Yeah, and should hopefully,
Yes,
maybe more. Don't sleep on this Saturday versus the Nationals. It's Ice Cube bobblehead night.
I
Don't sleep on that one, you folks
heard
out, Dodgers
today
fans out
was a
there.
good day.
Yeah, I didn't have to use my AK. Um, um,
Yes,
if I was in Southern California, I would be heading to that game
I talked to a guy
just
today
for
that
fun.
I talked to a guy today that is a huge Angels fan, but he's going to that just for that.
There
And
you
all
go.
I can see is Ice Cube doing the rap at the beginning of
Yeah.
game 2, and Freddie Freeman laughing because Ice Cube's changing the lingo basically to say, the Yankees are terrible. And Alex Verdugo with his hat sideways, bobbling up and down, thinking he's some type of rap star.
So funny. So great.
Yep,
Oh, there's so many good visuals. We could go on just about the visuals from that World Series.
exactly,
But hey, here we
exactly,
are, smack dab in the middle of the next 2025 season. So let's go.
exactly.
Go win 2 in a row.
Exactly. All
Big.
right, so let's talk about some of the statistical things. Scotty, don't know if you know this or not, but we have one, two, three, four players. I'm sorry, one, two, three players that are hitting 300 or better. We have another 3 players that are hitting above 260. And it may shock
Oh,
you.
yeah, I like that.
It may shock you. I mean, obviously, Freddie Freeman is leading the club at 330, Will Smith at 321, Shohei Ohtani at 300, Andy Paez at 282,
Attaboy,
Marcus
Andy Paez.
Betts at 266, Oscar Hernandez at 243, Max Muncy at 241. Mind you, a month ago, he was hitting like a buck 40.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's put 100 points on that since he got his spectacles. So
Yes.
that's what you need to see. That's what you want to see, and that's what I was mentioning. Monty and I were laughing about last night. So yeah, that's so good to see. Will Smith keeping the foot on the gas pedal. I love it.
Yeah.
Still batting
Um,
over 300. How
I
about,
will
by the
say
way,
too.
speaking of Max Muncy, little
Uh-huh.
sidebar. How about him? How about him stealing second on the first pitch last night? I think it was like the sixth inning or something, and then
Yep.
advanced to third on the throw. Loved that aggressiveness. Let's get
Yes.
more of that, Uncle Dave. Uncle,
Yes.
oh,
No,
Dave Roberts,
agreed, my
Uncle
friend.
Dave.
Agreed. That's good stuff right there. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
That's small
Um,
ball at its finest, and that I'm sure that was probably all Max Muncy, and he just the pitcher wasn't paying attention to him.
yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. And when you're in a position that the Dodgers are in and you're playing a team that has their back up against the proverbial wall,
yeah.
right? You can afford to do that. Even if the pitcher steps off, what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
No, that ending ends, and what's his name is back at the plate to start the next inning with a fresh count. So
Exactly.
worst
Exactly.
case, you already had two outs. That's great time. I mean, it was good situational baseball,
Very good
and
situational
exactly what
baseball.
you and I have talked about, and you have been shouting from the rooftops for months about small
Yes.
ball and that. Let's get more of that kind of stuff. That's what we want to see.
Yes. 1000% agreed. Agreed, my friend. Agreed. Okay. Okay. Going forward. Sorry,
You're
I was just
good.
looking at a statistic that was a little shocking, but going forward with that, let's talk about the injury bug that has been plaguing the Dodgers,
Oh my
but
lord.
their pitching, I mean, they've got some guys that are really kind of stepping it up.
Yeah, and the bullpen is starting to pitch better. I know they didn't pitch well in the bullpen game against the Padres, but that's a different beast. That's a different animal. But yeah, that you and you've got some guys stepping up. Kershaw looked um, each start he's had looks a little better, little sharper stuff. Um, man, I love watching him pitch.
Yeah,
Uh,
he went seven the other day.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
You take that into
Oh,
consideration, that's freaking amazing.
you'll take 7 innings from him every day, every outing. If you were guaranteed
Every
that,
outing.
you'd say, as the kids say, you'd say bet.
Yeah. Bet. Yeah. Yami's pitching well. Dustin
Yep.
May is starting to turn a corner. Alex Vesia, Tanner Scott.
Yep.
Um,
Kasparius
yeah.
has had some decent
Copernicus. Yeah.
outings. We call him Kasparius is the scariest at our house. So,
I call him
uh,
Copernicus.
but yeah, he no, it's good to see, and hopefully uh, we can get some of these guys back off the injured list. It was great, speaking of, to see Shohei pitch. I know it was only an inning. I know he gave up a run, but he did hit three digits on the gun at least once that I saw, and he's not going to have rehab starts. We talked about this pre show, Bill, that he's not going to have the opportunity for those because you can't afford to put that bat out of your lineup for that long.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
and
Yep.
and he's already he already was out for a few games when his child was born, which he should have been. I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but now that he's back and in it, you can't ship that bat off for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever.
And
So
it's too much, really. You can't let this guy. He's got to pitch in AAA. He can't pitch in the bus leagues. So you
yeah,
you can't ship him to
yeah,
Oklahoma City to play in to pitch one night in Oklahoma City. Ship him back to LA so that he can hit and rest up for 5 days, and
right,
then ship him back to Oklahoma City so that he can pitch. It doesn't work that way. So yeah,
exactly.
you're playing with fire there. But it was good to have him back on the mound. I like seeing
Yeah,
that.
and look,
That was
they'll bring
good.
him back slow. The good thing is that he's starting now. I was actually so happy about it because I thought we'd be lucky to see him before the All-Star break at
Right.
all. And now it looks like we'll get to see him probably at least one more time
Yeah.
uh, before the
Yeah.
All-Star.
And again, you work him back slow. You work
Right.
him back slow.
Yeah,
He
and
threw
and
20
and bring him
innings.
back slow. Just knowing you were going to have a bullpen game anyway with where your starting pitching's at.
Well,
So just start him. Know he's only going to go an inning or two, and that's all you need him to go. And then the bullpen will pick it up and get him back slowly, because this is all for the playoffs. We got to get guys back
yeah.
healthy in the groove by playoff time.
Yeah. 2000%.
Nice problem to have.
Yes, good problem to have. Um, the other so yeah, so one of the things that drives me crazy is people think, oh well, and this isn't just a Shohei thing. This is an overall baseball thing, right? People think, oh well, they're throwing simulated games. Yeah. Simulated games, everybody, simulated games means the guy goes out in between batting practice and pitches simulated situations. He pitches to live
Right.
batters, kind of, sort of, but there's nobody in the stands. There's no noise. There's no
Not the same.
situational things where, mentally, hey, if this is a bad ball, who cares, right? So don't tell me that situational, those type of things matter that much.
No, they don't. And it's any guy that's played will tell you too. You got to have real game speed. Got to have real game speed opportunities, and that's when you figure it out. And look, did they bring Kershaw back? Maybe a start or two, maybe another rehab start have been good for him, probably. Yeah, but their situation dictates what moves you have to make, and it just kind of the same thing. His first start, I think he only went 3 innings, and that was pretty much by design. It wouldn't have mattered if he'd have struck 9 batters out; they probably just still pulled him. Just they're being smart, and that's what you want to see. And as a Dodger fan, and it can be frustrating because you get some losses and some bumps along the way, but I think they're doing it the right way. It's just, man, I was so excited when I saw Shohei was starting last night. I
Well,
wouldn't have cared if he threw the first pitch and then they pulled him. It's just I was excited because he's on track to be back in time for the playoffs,
yes.
and you're
Can
gonna
I
want.
just can I just say this too? Can we agree that Dave Roberts is like the second portion of the Wizard of Oz? I mean, this guy is making things happen. I mean, granted, I get the lineup. I mean, you've had Freddie out, you've had Mookie out, you've had Shohei out, you've had Max not play well, but look
Right.
at all these pitching concoctions. I mean, can we agree that this guy
Sure.
is like lights out?
Well, yeah, and especially for a guy who it seems like every offseason, oh, we need to get rid of him.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
there's this grumble, 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 and it's like, why? First of all, who are you going to go get if you do get rid of him? That
right.
would be an upgrade that's available legitimately, right? And second of all, guy leads you to the division title every year. He's led you to 4 World Series. He's won 2 of them. What else do you
Exactly.
want? Go ask any other team in baseball right now, including the New York Yankees. They would take what the Dodgers have done since Dave Roberts has been their manager over what they've done. Every single team in baseball would take it. Every one of them,
100%.
except maybe the Houston Astros, just because they've won 2 over that time as well. But I mean, it's a wash at worst with that. I just you go down this list. Go click. Anybody listen, just go click on the Dodgers roster on their website, and it's like on the pitching staff injured list: 15 day, 60
Yeah,
day, 15 day, 60 day, 60 day, 60 day, 60 day. Scroll down a little further, another couple 60s, another 15, 4 more 60. I mean,
yeah.
and we know
Michael
some of those are guys that
Bell.
are done for the year, right? There's just jumped out.
Bro,
It's gonna have Tommy John, but look, we're missing Blake Trinan, right? He's a reliever. I know he's not a starter, but you've got even relievers that we need in that lineup, in that bullpen,
mm,
that are trying to get back from injuries.
so so to your point, Scott, I'm gonna read to everybody what you got going on here.
Okay.
Okay. You've got Luis Garcia, 15-day IL. Tyler Glasnow, 60-day IL. Tyler Glasnow hasn't pitched in over a month, by the way.
Right.
Tony Gonsolin, 15-day IL. Bruce R. Gratterall, 60-day IL. Michael Grove, 60-day IL. Edgardo Henriquez, 60-day IL. Kyle Hurt, 60-day IL. Evan Phillips, 60-day IL. River Ryan, 60-day IL. Roki Sasaki, 15-day IL, although I heard recently that he's done for the season.
Yeah, I've heard
Um,
that too.
Emmett Sheehan is supposed to be coming back. Blake Snell, 60-day IL. Gavin Stone, 60-day IL.
Am I imagining things, or did I hear he pitched like what you were talking about, or like a simulated game, or threw off
Yeah,
or
he
something
did,
recently?
but he's not
He's
expected to come
nowhere
back
near
till
coming
mid-July.
back. I know that, but
I
uh,
mean, you're talking mid-July now.
for Blake,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's just
I mean,
horrendous.
if you think about this for a second. If you are a Major League Baseball team, starters, Tyler Glasnow, Tony Gonsolin, Michael Grove, River Ryan, um, Roki Sasaki, Blake
Yeah,
Snell.
yeah,
Those are all starters that are on the IL. And 60 days. We're not talking 15 days.
right.
Can I get an amen for Dave Roberts? Can there be some type
Yeah.
of
Look, we talked about this when we started this up early before it even it was right around when pitchers and catchers showed up. Like
right?
the job Dave Roberts has been doing even before this season is incredible, and he's just proving again that he's good at motivating. He's good at juggling things, and he's got most of these things figured out. And one of the things I like about Dave is that he's an analytics guy, but he uses his gut sometimes.
Yes.
He believes what his eyes are showing him sometimes,
Yep.
where some of these analytics guys get a little too, well, that's not what the numbers say.
Well, and Dave has proven as a manager, he has proven that he can win. So the front office
Yep.
looks at it and says, "Hey, in Dave we trust." Right?
Yep.
That wasn't there in 15, 16, 17. So, now you got something a little different,
Yep. Exactly.
which I absolutely love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, Scotty, I'm gonna have some fun with you. We're
Okay.
over 20 minutes into the show. I'm gonna have some fun with
Okay.
you. Okay. We know that the Dodgers are doing well. We know in Dave we trust right now.
Yep.
I am going to I'm going to play with you our illustrious start one, bench one, cut one.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take a couple of old school players and some new school players, and I'm just gonna take two positions.
Okay.
Okay. And you've got to start one, you got to cut one, and you got to bench one, Scotty.
Okay.
Now, in 2 weeks, I want you to do the same thing for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Here we go. We're only going to take three positions this time.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
First base.
Okay.
Okay. Steve Garvey,
Yep.
Eric Karros,
Yep.
Freddie Freeman.
Uh, so uh, that is tough. I know who I'm cutting. I'm cutting Eric Karros, and that seems so wrong because I don't think he will last a whole lot longer with this, but he is still the Dodgers lifetime home run leader in a Dodger
Right.
uniform. Most home
Right.
runs in a Dodger uniform. Still Eric Karros. So and I've met Eric before, and he's such a good dude. A couple of times I've met him. Such a
Okay.
good dude. But he out of those three, I would have to cut him, and then oh my goodness. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start Freddie, and I'm gonna bring in Steve off the bench.
See, that would go the other way. I'd start Garvey.
Yeah,
I'd,
see, it for me. They're 1 and 1A at first base, both of those guys, and it's so close. It can go either way for me. So there you go.
it's hard. It's
It
hard,
is.
my
That's a
friend.
tough one. That's a tough one. I'm
It's
sure the
hard.
next ones are going to be worse. So hit
Okay.
me.
So the next ones, okay. The next one we're going to go across the corner to the hot corner,
Okay.
right? We are going to do, are you ready? We
Okay.
are going to do Pedro Guerrero at third base,
Okay.
Ron Say, Max Muncy.
Oh man. Ugh. I'm starting Ron Say. We're cutting. Uh, we're cutting Max and putting Pedro on the bench.
See, and my initial thought was,
That one's close again too. The on the other side, Ronse's the starter for sure, but who I keep and who I cut out of the other two, that one's razor thin margin.
I agree with you. Again, I'm going to go the other direction though. I'm cutting Pedro because I look at Pedro as a left fielder. I don't look
Yeah,
at him as a
and
Dodger third
yeah,
baseman.
that's true. That's true. And I feel like
Either way,
Max
Max gets
has been
cut.
doing it for a while too. So
Yeah, yeah,
plus
yeah.
Maxie plays first base and second base for you sometimes too. So
There you go. All
all
right,
right.
the final one. This one is
Okay.
incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, this one's
I
going to be
knew they were
incredibly
going to get
difficult.
worse as they went along. So when the first one was so hard, man. Okay, hit
So
me
you
with
got
it.
a Hall of Famer, you got
Okay,
a guy who's won two world championships with
okay,
the Dodgers, and you've got another guy who's won two world championships for the Dodgers.
okay.
Okay, Mike Piazza,
Yep.
we're going behind the dish. Mike
Yep.
Piazza, Mike Scioscia.
Ugh. And young William.
So Will Smith won two World Series championships,
No.
although he didn't, you know, 2000 he was still a little younger. Mike Piazza's a Hall of Famer. Remember, Mike Scioscia won two World Series, 81 and 88, and
I
he was
know.
kind of the backstop for the Dodgers for a dozen years. So you can't poo-poo him, but
Well, and he showed what his knowledge of the game of baseball was going and managing the Angels as long as he did too. And I'm a firm believer he'd at least gotten to another World Series or two if ownership and management hadn't screwed things up so poorly
yeah,
over the years. Mike might still be their manager if they hadn't. Who knows? Oh geez. Yeah, that one's unfair because you got to cut one and oh man. I'm gonna start Will Smith and I'm gonna bench. I'm gonna bench Sosha and I'm gonna cut Mike. And the only reason I'm gonna cut Mike is I feel like he had a couple of his better years in a Mets uniform. So,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like Will's been a Dodger his whole life to this point. Um, Sosha was pretty much a Dodger. Um, and that's where he played his best. And Mike, look, Mike was awesome, and that hurt when I was younger and being a Dodger fan when they traded Mike. That was not fun for Dodger fans.
That was
Um,
the last time I remember.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I know that's a tough one, but that's why we're going. That's my justification. I'm sticking with it.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, I see this one, Scotty. This one's tough for me
Okay.
because I can't cut a Hall of Famer.
Oh, that's
Um,
hard. I know.
and I love Will Smith. He's one of my favorite players. But if I had to do it, I'd start Piazza. I would bench Sosha, and I'd have to come.
All right.
Only, only because Will Smith hasn't done it for as long as Sosha did.
I get
Now,
it.
Will Smith's better
Yeah.
offensively, and Will Smith is going to put up numbers that are going to be similar to Mike Piazza's numbers, but
Yep.
we're not there yet.
Understood. I don't agree, but I understand. And
Hey,
that's okay
listen,
we don't agree because that's part of what makes this world so wonderful.
exactly,
We don't always have
exactly,
to agree. We can still love each other
exactly.
and still love the Dodgers equally.
That's
So,
what we're supposed to be here for. So in
exactly.
2 weeks, you're going to turn this around on me, Scotty. You're
Okay.
going to ask me three positions. You're
Okay.
going to do a start one, bench one, cut one on me. It'll be
Okay.
great.
Okay.
It'll be
All
great.
right. I'm gonna come up with some good ones. Me and my dad are gonna have some convos.
There you go. All right.
Maybe
So,
my grandpa Bill can visit me from the other side.
there you
Rest in peace,
go.
Grandpa.
All right.
Maybe he can give me some suggestions too. So we'll
So
have
we
some.
wrapped up stats. We wrapped up schedules. We played a little start one, bench one, cut one. We talked about what the Dodgers are doing. What else do we need to discuss, if anything, what is left, Scotty?
Um, just go Dodgers. Like I'm feeling good about the Dodgers. I'm feeling very positive. I know I'm doing good not letting the ups and downs. affect me too much.
Yeah.
Um, I do need to pay attention to my fantasy team a little better in our top fantasy team. I
But
realized that the other
I'm
day.
getting smoked, but that's
Oh
okay,
man.
man.
Well, and then my other league, I got Pete Crow Armstrong. He's been riding the pine for like 2 weeks. Meanwhile, he's the fourth best player in baseball statistically right now. So
Yeah.
make that anyway. No, just Dodgers keep getting better. Max Muncy keep getting that average up. Let's see if we can get you into the 270s before the season's over. That'd be a small miracle and fantastic. Means he's on a tear going into the playoffs too.
100%. 100%. All right, my great and good friend. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again in 2 weeks. If you're
Okay.
listening to us on Bleacher Brothers Sports Network, we appreciate you. If you watch this on YouTube, mash that subscribe button. We appreciate you for that. And then we will take it from there. Scotty, let's do it again in 2 weeks.
Sounds great. Love it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks everybody for listening in.